This is the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show. Heard every Saturday and Sunday from noon to 1 p.m. right here on AM800.
Thank you for doing a good job as always.
Now back to the show with broker owner and host, Dan Gemus.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Ron Bondy with the Super Mortgage team on with us for our mortgage segment. Hey Ron, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself, Dan?
Always doing great, and you have a very good topic for us today.
Yes, I do. We're going to be talking about errors that commonly show up on credit bureaus.
Errors that commonly show up on credit bureaus. That's something that many folks don't think about, right? So obviously, there are more and more ways as an individual that you can look up your credit report now than there was in the past. It used to be much more of a pain, right? You had to send in a letter and they'd have to send it back. Much easier now, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. You used to have to, fax a letter and then they could fax you it back. We're light years advanced from there.
No doubt. So I guess before we get started, Ron, why is it so important to check in on your credit report every once in a while to see if there's any mistakes?
Well, you always want to check in because having wrong information on your credit bureau that might lower your score might mean that you don't qualify for a mortgage or don't qualify for as much of a mortgage.
Right.
So you always want to make sure these things are nice and tidy clean.
Tidy cleaning.
Tidy clean.
Awesome. So what kind of mistakes can we find?
All right. So the first and most common mistake would be your name's misspelled.
Aha.
Imagine that, and then that won't really affect your credit score, but what it will do is make the lawyer have to have you sign an affidavit, which could cost you more money, stating that you are this person that has the wrong name on the credit bureau. Wrong address. Now, keeping your address up to date. Now, a lot of people move, especially when you're younger. You move from your parents' house. You're probably going to rent a house. You're probably going to do whatever, keep moving around. But the credit bureau only gets updated every time somebody pulls your credit.
Okay.
So if you're going for a mortgage and I pull your credit and it's like 3 addresses back, well, the lender's going to ask questions like they're going to be more inquisitive about you because your credit bureau does not match.
Sure. Makes sense.
So date of birth is another big one. So again, not a showstopper, but adds more cost to you at the lawyers because your date of birth does not match your credit score, or maybe the lender doesn't accept your credit bureau because it has the wrong date, which could prolong the process of getting approved.
What information is most needed when pulling a credit report? I would think someone's birth date, their name. Would a SIN number obviously be a pretty popular request as well?
So you can get it from just having their name and their birth date. I always say make sure you put the SIN number in there.
Sure.
Because what happens is you have a lot of people that change their last name when they get married.
Sure.
And when you change your last name when you get married, sometimes the credit bureaus don't marry up. But if you have that SIN number in there, the SIN number will pull everybody that has that SIN number in that.
Well, hopefully just one person.
Well, it'll say like, let's say John Smith, AKA John Farley, right?
Gotcha.
Because they have the same, commonly, the women change their name when they get married.
Sure.
So you see this a lot commonly with women because they'll change their name and then, when they apply for a credit card in a different name, now they only have that one credit card on their name, even though with their last name they had, 5 different forms of credit, which would have gave them a really good credit score, but now they only have one thing. So when you pull the SIN number, it's going to pull all the AKAs and combine them. And then that way, you'll have most up-to-date information. So another thing, like the main thing which you want to look out for is wrong information. So accounts that don't belong to you. That's actually a big one. A lot of people, might be a similar name that doesn't have the SIN number in, and that bill gets tagged to you. And now if that person doesn't pay that, that's negatively affecting your.
I guess it would depend.
Bureau.
Is it helping your credit score? Or is it harming? If it's helping, then leave it alone.
Yeah, well, there you go. Exactly. Yeah. Well, but also like if it's a big amount, even though it's helping your credit score, if it's a large amount,
yeah, it's going to hurt your.
It's going to affect your debt to income ratio. So you're going to want that off. Outdated information for what's been paid. So we see this a lot with a lot of the large furniture stores in Windsor, where client will take, don't pay for 2 years, and then after the 2 years they pay it off. But 2 years after that, they come to look at a mortgage, and it still shows that they owe the full amount on that. So they just don't remove that debt. So it is the client's duty to take a look at their credit score and keep it clean. It's not up to Equifax, it's not up to TransUnion, it's not up to all these people that put this stuff on your credit. It is your due diligence to make sure it's clean. So incorrect payment history. So a lot of times, there might be late payments that reported that you paid on time.
Sure. And
as long as you can upload the paperwork that shows that you paid it on time, they'll take that off. Duplicate accounts. This we see a lot. So especially with credit cards. So credit cards sometimes will get thrown on your credit bureau twice. And then one will get updated. So, let's say you had a balance of 10 grand on your credit card and then you paid it off, but only one gets updated. So that still shows that you have a credit card with 10 grand balance on it. So you got to keep an eye for duplicate accounts.
Okay.
Wrong credit limits. Now, this might not seem like a big deal to anybody, but this is how your credit score is calculated. So in order to build credit, you never want to use about 50% of what your allocated limit is. So if you have a credit card for 10 grand, if you have a credit card for 10 grand, don't charge more than 5 grand without paying it off. And then that will help you build credit.
Okay.
Once you start going over it, you're not building credit. If you're close to your limit, you're hurting your credit. And the reason why, when you're close to your limit, as soon as they add the interest payment, you jump over your limit, which hits your credit score. And then you make that minimum payment, you drop back down. So always, rule of thumb, easy to remember, is 50% of your limit, never go over it on your credit card.
Interesting. Okay. Good point.
And then the last one is incorrect employment history. So, like if I'm saying you worked at, ABC Warehouse for 10 years and then your credit bureau shows that you worked, at a farm down the street, the lenders are going to question, like, what's going on? Like, have you not pulled credit in 10 years? Who's wrong? Is this a fraudulent file? It's going to make them ask more questions because it doesn't match, right?
Interesting.
So, and then, let's just say, what can you do? Like, how do you find all this out? Well, you can request your credit bureau for free without it hitting your credit one time per year. So it's always good practice to call up Equifax or call up TransUnion. Those are the two credit bureaus. And just review your information. And if there's an error, call them up and get them to fix it. You can put in a dispute and follow up.
I know some banks, Ron. I know mine, when I log into my credit card, I can actually check my credit score at no cost as much as I want. So there are some banks that offer that service once you log into your online banking. And you can just log in and see your credit score there. Yeah,
so that's a good indication. But what that is that's actually a workaround. So what they do is basically the last person that pulled your credit, they take an average of where you should be. So that credit score that you're checking with your financial institute is typically plus or minus 20 to 40 points.
Okay.
So it's not accurate at all. But it's a good gauge. So if you're constantly looking at that and you see that your credit score dropped 40 points for no reason, then that's a good indication that you should get on the horn with Equifax or TransUnion and try to figure out what's going on.
Now, Ron, in your experience, what would affect your score negatively the most? Is it late payments? Is it utilizing too much of your credit? What would you find has the most harm?
Late payments are always the worst harm. Next first most harm would be bankruptcy or proposals.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
That's just going to drag it through the mud. Anything written off, even collections are the next thing that hurts after bankruptcy and stuff like collections and judgments and all that. And then it would be late payments, and then it'd be high credit usage. So once you're close to that limit, every time they add that interest charge on it, it kicks you over your limit, which gets rid of points. At
one point, if someone comes to see you for an evaluation, or if they want to get pre-approved for a mortgage, if they've had a bankruptcy in the past, how long do they have to wait before they can look at possibly getting a home again?
So the bankruptcy has to be discharged, so paid off.
Okay.
And 2 years from there.
Okay, so 2 years from discharge.
So if it takes you a year to discharge the bankruptcy, then 2 years from that year, so it would be 3 years.
Okay.
If it takes you 1 month, then it's two years and 1 month. But you also have to have reestablished credit.
Sure.
So you have to get a credit card, you have to get a car loan, you have to get a line of credit, you have to get something so you can reestablish that credit for 2 years. And that's reestablished credit with a major bank, which means don't go get a Walmart MasterCard. That won't count towards reestablished credit. You need to get it from one of the big 5 banks.
Okay, fair enough. Now, before we let you go, Ron, what's the market looking like right now from a mortgage standpoint? Are rates holding steady, or are they coming down, going up? What are you seeing?
Fixed rates had a little bit of an uptick, nothing too concerning. Variable rates, we're still predicting a couple drops this year, which is good for our variable rate clients. Mm-hmm. And we're actually are recommending variables right now as well. We see the market is a little slow right now, but we expect hopefully, this month, May, for it to pick up, because June is normally the heaviest closing month of the year.
No doubt. Awesome. Great tips, Ron. Appreciate your help as always. If someone wants to get pre-approved or refinance, what's the best way to reach out to you?
They can call me on my cell phone, 519-791-2961. They can email me at Ron Bondy at supermortgageteam.ca, or they can get in touch with, Ron Bondy at supermortgageteam.ca, yep. Sorry. And then, or they can get in touch with one of your lovely agents.
Well, there you go. Must be partying on a Saturday here. So take it easy, Ron. Take it easy. Hey, listen, before I let you go, I want to say
Cinco de Mayo in the middle of the week. So,
that's right. I want to give a big shout out to the team, to all of you over at Super Mortgage Team for having joined us and sponsoring our Country at Heart charity event again this year. You guys have been a huge support for us over the last, many years, and we really appreciate it. So thank you. Hope everyone had fun.
Glad to help. Yeah, it was a great time. I recommend everybody go next year.
You bet. All right, thanks, Ron. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Yep, talk to you. Thanks.
You got it. That's Ron Bondy with the Super Mortgage Team. Always great help there. If you have any questions, reach out to him, or you can reach out to any of us on the team, and we'll put you in touch with Ron Bondy from the Super Mortgage Team. Lots more to come right here on the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show.